Hi, I'm Drew Flex. Welcome back to the channel. Join me as I'm fighting cancer with fitness. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and press the bell button so you can get the latest updates and notifications from me, Drew Flex. Today, I'm just going to give you some updates on my own physical health condition. So, without further ado, let's do this. So it's been a couple of weeks since I've posted, and for those of you who've actually been sending me messages of support, some of you have been worried about me on the social media platforms, I thank you so much for your ongoing support and your concern. And for those of my fit fam, especially across on Twitter, and those of you on Instagram who normally keep tabs on what I'm doing and send me those messages of support and encouragement, I'm really grateful, and I feel quite blessed to have you all not just as followers, but to consider you all among my friends as well. So there's good news and there's bad news. So maybe if we start by getting the bad news out of the way, which is the reason for the gap in my posting. So I was at work a couple of weeks ago, and things have kind of been getting quite a lot. My job, as you know, it can be quite intense, and there's other life factors that are kind of contributing to the general levels of stress at the moment, which can impact on anybody's health. But given my physical health condition, these levels of stress can be even more amplified. There isn't just the case of the leukemia or the arthritis, but there's also the long-term health condition that I've always had, which is my hypertension, and that is being controlled by medication. But in the last few weeks, it's been reaching a bit of a fever pitch, so to speak, and my blood pressure had spiked as high as 163/104, and this led to unsteadiness on my feet and unsteady gait, dizziness, and generally feeling quite crap, to be honest. So I had to take myself home, and because my physical health hadn't improved, I had to make a decision as to whether or not being back at work for a couple of weeks would have been the best thing for me. And I decided that I did need to stay at home and recuperate for a bit, and just really take a step back from everything. I needed to rest, but also needed to have investigations done to find out why this spike. And there's a couple of things at play here, and I am going to make a complaint. You don't hear me doing this often, but I am going to make a complaint. I've already spoken to my GP about my concerns, and it's about the fact that if you have a patient that has a long-term physical health condition, such as hypertension, then why would you leave all of the medical investigations and treatment to the oncologist? Now let's be clear. The oncologist is there to treat cancer. The oncologist isn't there to pick up the slack when it comes to my hypertension or to any other physical health conditions that I have. They are there to treat my cancer. It just so happens that we've picked up some other physical health conditions which they have actually taken charge of. But really and truly, those should be down to the GP. And this goes back to the complaint about the GP not having been proactive enough in the beginning, when I had actually gone to Specsavers and they had picked up that there was an abnormal bleed on my eye, and they were supposed to have taken the proactive step of booking me into Moorfield's eye, which they failed to do. I had to chase them about it. And then they left me languishing without even following up with me once I had actually been diagnosed to even do a check-in appointment. Then they failed miserably again at being able to follow up on my hypertension. Every year, if you are on any anti-hypertensive medication, you're supposed to have a yearly screening, which includes taking your blood pressure and taking bloods to see if there are any more complications, or how you're responding to your blood pressure medication, if they need to make any changes to your blood pressure medication, and what the plan is going forward for your care. My GP failed miserably to do this. I had to go and book myself last summer to actually do the follow-up, and no blood was taken. So you've now got a person who is now 2 years without having any follow-up bloods done, and hence we are where we are now. This resulted in a panicked state from the practice nurse, who then had to book me to get some emergency out of hours bloods done, and then they automatically just put me on another antihypertensive medication called ramipril. So I'm now taking ramipril as well as my amlodipine. In addition to that, we've also now got the results of the blood tests back within this space of 2 weeks that I've been off work. So although I'm at home resting, I'm going to GP appointments and I'm going to the hospital. So really and truly, it's not really a rest, because there's things that need to be done. There's investigations that need to be done in order for me to find out what's happening, in order for the medical professionals to find out what's happening. So the blood results come back, and they also realised that the parathyroid gland, there's an issue with that, where it's producing an overproduction of calcium. So hypercalcemia. So that means that basically there is hyper, too much, calcium, emia in the blood. So an overproduction of calcium in the blood. So this has now been picked up, and I do have a follow-up appointment with my GP to figure out what how that's going to be treated. And the idea that they did float to me is that they would be putting me on, I think, a vitamin B medication, but it's not one that needs to be prescribed. It's one that I'm going to have to buy over the counter. So that's yet another medication to put on the list that needs to be bought, that's not on prescription. So that is what has been happening. And you know, these things, as well as not feeling physically great, it's the whole runaround as well that kind of takes you away temporarily off your path. So that's what's been happening. So yeah, these things do happen, but as with everything, as with the basis of this channel, it's all about how we bounce back from these setbacks. And now that I have some answers as to what's going on, I can now resume my path that I was on, resume making my videos, and I'm glad to say that I am back in the gym and I'm back stronger than ever. The time that I film this, it's Tuesday the 25th of February, and I had one of my regularly scheduled 3-month follow-up appointment with my oncologist at St Bartholomew's Hospital in central London, and we get on to the good. So, drum roll. The good news is that I had my bloods done, and the oncologist said that I am responding better than ever to my dasatinib medication. They said that my results are even better than when I was on imatinib. I'm tolerating it well. My CML levels in my blood, they've come down way below what the expected level would be for me at this stage, and they're even as optimistic to say that they might even start considering lowering the dose when they see me for my next 3-monthly appointment. So this is really, really good news. But wait for it. They were even saying that maybe within the next 2 to 4 years, they might even consider me for going treatment free. That is the best news that I have heard. I'm gonna keep praying about this. With God, all things are possible, and as long as I keep that faith and I keep that, I keep Him close to me and I keep praying about things, if His will be done, then that is what will be done. So very happy. Little bit of a contradiction, however, because when I told him about the hypercalcemia in my, those results, he said, well, we actually did your bloods and we didn't really see any spike in calcium in your bloods. Go figure. So who knows? Maybe when I go back to my GP, I can let them know this little nugget of information and see what they want to do with that. That was the good news from today. So that's the update on my condition, my treatment, and everything that's been going on with me. And again, I just want to really thank all of you who have been supporting me, who've been sending me messages of support and encouragement and have been genuinely worried about me. And again, I really do appreciate that. And just to let you know that I'm fine, I'm back, and I'm going to be posting as usual each and every Friday, and you can continue to join me as I fight cancer with fitness. That's it. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the content. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and press the bell button so you can get the latest updates and notifications from me, DrewFlex. I am DrewFlex, and until next time, stay flexing. If you're a fitness enthusiast looking for a personal trainer, gym or dojo, head over to susifitness.com.